Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we are getting in the Halloween spirit of things, and with that being said, I wanted to do a pick a card reading on messages from your ancestors. Now these can be ancestors from people that you know who have passed over, or going back through your family history. This could also be your soul family as well from previous lives. But we have 3 piles to choose from, and before we get into that, I thought it would be nice, as I have a new central candle that we're going to use in this reading, I thought it would be nice if we could make a wish together. So before I light this candle, I just want you to take a moment to think about what it is that you would like to bring in, because with there's a hair on the desk. With Halloween coming, or Samhain, Samhain, however you want to pronounce it, it's also the start of new pagan wheel of the year. And so with that being the case, I thought it would be nice if we could set an intention for what it is that we want to bring in within the coming wheel of the year. So if you want to think about what it is that you would like to bring in and what you're trying to manifest, and as we light the candle together, if you can just keep that in mind. And may all our wishes come true. So I'm going to pop that up there. And then when it comes to the piles that we're choosing, we have pile 1. I'm just going to pick a random card off the top here for your pile, which is the 5 of Cups. So that will be your image to choose from. I'm going to slide the deck up there, and hopefully that will be in the shot. They always take up more space than what I think they're going to. I don't know how we're going to do this one, but for pile 2 we have 2 of Wands. So you can choose via the back of the deck or from the image on the card itself. And then for pile 3 we have the Hierophant, which is going to fit in the shot even less than the others. I don't know what's happening with that candle either. It doesn't seem to want to burn as bright as the other one. But the Hierophant is for pile 3. So hopefully you can see those. Yeah, I think they're just about in view. But feel free to pause the video if you need to choose your pile. And I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. So I can't remember the name of the deck, but this is your reading if you chose the 5 of Cups. We're going to put the tarot to one side for a moment, and basically the reading breakdown is that we are going to look at some oracle cards which will give us the overview of what it is that your ancestors want to talk about. So this will be the general situation that they want to discuss, and then we're going to use the tarot to see what it is that they want to say about it. And then we're going to use some more oracle to get messages for you as to what their advice or guidance would be on this situation. So we have abundance and witches of the craft with a prophecy, and we have a change with werewolf. And I should note we have number 40 and 29 so far. And we also have pentacle with respect. And we have protection with number 29. So this is the second card that's come out with number 29. So that might be significant for you. So it could be the dates of like 2nd of September, 9th of February, or the age 29, something like that that's significant to you. But with protection, we have, this is my house, stained by the very blood flowing through its walls, covered in a veil of delicious prayers, yet deadly to those who dare lift its hidden. That doesn't make sense to me, but that is exactly what it says on there. So let's move this little dude up there a little bit more. There's a situation that you're going through at the moment. It could be to do with your finances, or it could be abundance in its other forms. But there is something that you have almost been anticipating. There's a change coming in that you, if you aren't, how can I put this, consciously aware of it, it's something that you've been feeling in your gut. Some kind of instinct that is telling you that there is a change coming, and something that you are bringing in, that you have been working towards. Because even though this particular card says respect, because of there being a pentacle present, and it is the pentacle card, there is something very sacred about it, something that you are holding dear to you, this particular situation. But it's because of it being so important to you, you're very protective of it. And it's something that feels very cyclical as well. So it's something that has been a long time coming, because of, there's almost a sense of it's time now. There is that season of change and how things shift. Like it was inevitable, it was going to happen, but you are very protective over it and treating it with respect, but also in a way that you are wanting to hold it dear to you as well. So regardless of whether it is financial or whether it is some other form of abundance, it's something that is going to make you feel abundant. It's that kind of Empress kind of energy where you are just sitting and receiving. But it's something that you are going through a metamorphosis to achieve. It's something that you are learning and growing and stepping into. And it feels quite a new situation, even though it's something that you have been anticipating and wanting and working towards and building. It's something that is new to you, or new in the sense of how you're viewing it and how it's showing up as well. But it's something that you've been intuitively aware of that was coming, because it's something that feels natural to you. It's not something that feels forced or like you have been putting in so much effort that you have made it happen. There is an element of co-creation with the universe and with spirit, and even with your ancestors, because they are there holding the space for you for this to come in, and they are there supporting you as well. You aren't on your own with this. There is quite possibly 2 or 3 different ancestors coming in that have been working with you on this particular situation, because we have 2 cards here. Okay, yes, a couple of them are just with 2 elements to them, but I'm being drawn to the abundance card and protection, both of which have 3 figures in, because we have the 2 cats here with the lady in the middle, and then we have the 3 ghosts in this one that are veiled. But there is that Trinity and almost like a sense of the power of 3 coming through. And also, you may have been finding that your psychic abilities are heightened and your connectedness with your intuition and higher self as well recently, whether it be about this situation or in general. But there is something very primal and instinctive about this. You're following your gut on this situation, and with the pentacle coming through, it's making me think very much of like a magician type energy. Like you have all of the tools at your disposal, you have all of the elements and things that you need to create what it is that you desire. And although you are being asked to make sure that you are protecting that and protecting your connection with spirit and how you are working at the moment with your ancestors, there is also that thing of things being quite limitless as well. The potential is there to build pretty much anything that you want to, anything that you set your heart on and feel intuitively guided to create, I should say. Because everything is coming together. You aren't doing this on your own. There is so much love and support there for you. And their main thing that's coming through is that they want you to know that you aren't doing this on your own. Things may have been a bit of a struggle, and you may be feeling quite, not isolated, but it's kind of that energy of, if I don't do it, no one else will. And having to do everything on your own to make things happen. But your ancestors are coming through because they want you to know that you aren't doing it on your own. They are there helping, guiding, supporting you, and helping you to create this and to bring things into the 3D. Because they see how much energy and effort and your pure strength of will, because there's a real sense of seeing your strength and I'm really kind of sitting with that and knowing your worth and who you are. Once again, with that Empress kind of energy, it's all about valuing yourself. And they see that in you. And they are there helping you and guiding you. And I'm being drawn to the werewolf card here. Although its keyword is change, because obviously werewolves go through changes and it is something that in quite a lot of mythology it isn't under their control. They can't do it at will. It's something that happens with the full moon. It almost feels like it's something that you have gone through or are going through, that you have been led to and have been guided, whether knowingly or unknowingly, to really transform who you are. It's that alchemy kind of energy where it's not easy, but it is something that is life-changing and will pivot the direction of your life and guide you on a new path. And it may be something with the prophecy card here, something that you have maybe envisioned for yourself but not thought was possible. but your ancestors are working with you to make it possible and make it something that you can actually experience within this lifetime. So we're going to use the tarot to see what it is that they want to say about this situation. What is it that my pole ones need to know about this, please, Spirit? Or I'm saying Spirit, but I should be saying guides. So we have Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, things are changing. It's that cyclical nature. You may be called to work with the moon as well, but there is that cyclical nature to it. Something is closing out. You have, once again, the elements here. We have all of the suits represented on this Wheel of Fortune, and there is that hand of guidance and hand of fate coming through with this card as well. It's something that, although you may not have thought that it was possible, it's something that was always fated and always, as I say, on the cards for you. It's something that was coming, regardless of whether you were aware of it or not. It's just that you had to go through the process of experiences, learning, growing, changing to be able to step into this. But it's something that was always meant to be. So if you've been questioning this, if there's any kind of doubt that's coming through with this, then there is no need to doubt this, because it was always going to happen. It's also because of it being the Wheel of Fortune, we have Jupiter kind of energy coming through, which is all to do with luck and expansion. Once again, with the cyclical nature and karma, fate, change, opportunity and luck. Like, things are on your side. If things haven't been, pardon me, excuse me. See, things are releasing, changing, purging, letting go, and it's closing out what was and stepping into the new with this particular card. And then we have the Ace of Cups as well. Yeah, it's something that's going to be emotionally fulfilling for you. It's that whole new beginning of stepping into something new and having that full cup. And allowing it to overflow. Sorry, I know that there's kind of delays and things like that, but I'm being shown images and things like that, and it's almost, with the Ace of Cups, I'm being shown like, I don't know quite what they'd call it, but you know when they stack champagne glasses and things like that, and they fill it from the top, and everything just kind of overflows and cascades down to fill all of the other cups beneath it. That's exactly what I was being shown with the Ace of Cups. It's like you are that first cup on the top of the pyramid, and as you are being filled and overflowed with those emotions and that emotional abundance, it's all filtering down to those around you and anyone that you come into contact with, and it's just kind of overflowing into everything that you touch. There is an element here with the Seven of Pentacles that's almost like, I say almost, because it feels very much like you are, as I say, there's that element of doubt coming in because you've put so much effort into it already to a certain degree, and yeah, you've sowed the seeds, and this is about tending to what you've already put into place, what you've already planted, what you've already started, because you're going to see the fruits of your labor within time and divine. It's that element of divine timing. And just allowing things to unfold naturally. You've planted that idea or put forward that business offer, regardless of what it is, but it's about allowing that to continue to grow, keep tending to what you need to. It's those small steps to make that slow and steady progress, to come into alignment with what it is that you are bringing in with this change, and continuing to protect and respect what it is that you've already started, and to keep working at it. Don't give up, because you are at that point of things are going to start to show, but you need to keep making that slow and steady progress as you go. And I think that you already intuitively know that. Although I've not finished pulling the tarot cards for you, we have the High Priestess on the back there, and the High Priestess is very much about being in between the two different worlds, the physical and the spiritual. So keep trusting your intuition, keep trusting that inner knowing and that guidance that your ancestors are bringing through for you, because they are acting as your lighthouse to guide you through all of this change and alchemization, to really step into your abundance. And they are protecting you. What else, please? Oh, we have, this one wanted to jump out. So we have the Seven of Cups. Yeah, it's that thing. There might be a lot of options. You might feel like you could quite easily go off and do something else while you're waiting. Or there may be a lot of opportunities presenting themselves, and it's a matter of practicing discernment to find that balance between them, because you can't do everything. Energy isn't a finite thing. We only have a limited amount of time and energy, regardless of who we are and what our health status is and all those sorts of things. There is only so much that you can do. You are only one person. So unless you are bringing in multiple people in an employment situation, unless you are bringing other people in to delegate work to and things like that, you have to have that balance between the physical work that you put in and your emotional well-being, and making sure, once again, that your cup is being filled, so that you can have that balance between the two and have that. It's a very grounded kind of balance. It isn't about just kind of mentally thinking, okay, yes, I'm going to balance this out, blah, blah, blah. It's about taking tangible steps. So these are actionable kind of steps that you would take within the 3D. It isn't just about your spiritual growth and well-being. It's also about your physical care and well-being as well, making sure that you have that downtime and that rest, and taking care of your physical body as well during this, because change, it starts from the inside, and it can take a toll on us, because change isn't easy, as I was saying earlier. But there is an importance between having that balance. Looking at the colours of the flowers that we have here, purple is making me think of your intuition, the third eye kind of energy, which is your brow chakra, which is all about that intuition and your connection to your higher self. It's being able to see the world through your third eye, so seeing it intuitively, but also having the balance between that and your solar plexus, represented by the yellow flowers here, which is all to do with your energy. So where you're expending your energy and where you are in investing your time to some extent, and having that balance I know it, because it feels like you know intuitively. If you're overexpending your physical energy somewhere, there are your guides and ancestors they're asking you to pull it back and make sure that you are finding that balance between your physical and emotional, and obviously spiritual here as well. On the back of the deck we have the King of Cups. Now the King of Cups, to some extent, the king is quite removed in some way. It's almost like the building this fort and this island around yourself. So although you have mastery over your emotions, you aren't engaging with the world quite the same as what the Queen would. And there's almost like this undertone of, yes, it's important to have this balance that we've been discussing, and making sure that you are filling your own cup, because your emotions are quite paramount at the moment. It's having that balance between your emotional and physical state. Now, this could be different for different people, but some of you may need to take a step back so that you have that space and time to yourself. And for others of you, it may be that you need to spend more time with others. And if you found that you've been spending a lot of time kind of on your own and removed from people, then it's time to sort of come back out of that and spend more time with your loved ones and friends and people that you care about. So we're just going to grab some oracle cards to see what additional messages your ancestors want you to know right now that would help guide you through this. So what advice do you have, please, ancestors and the pile ones? Yeah. Fill your cup with sacred giggles. I love that. As I was saying earlier about that being that cup on top of that pyramid so that everything overflows. Make sure that you're doing something fun, something that you enjoy, and regardless of whether it's spending time with others, having a laugh, and just kind of generally being silly and being goofy, there is a need to find the lighter side of life and connect with, it's almost connecting with your inner child and that fun, playful, curious, intuitive aspect of yourself, because that's going to help you fill your cup and make sure that you are overflowing with abundance. You are epic. I love that. I think that's a straightforward message from your ancestors. That is exactly what they think of you. There is so much love and support for you, and as I said previously, they are there working with you on this and helping to guide you through this. What else, please, would you say to my pile ones? Oops. And we have two. We have choose who you are becoming. And we have the good kind. So, yeah, there is an element of not allowing yourself to be redirected or knocked off of your path by others' opinions. You are in charge of who you are becoming and where you want your life to go, because there is nothing but good things coming to you, but you need to stay true to who you are and stay in that alignment and picking the things that are good for you. But this isn't about you being a good person or the good kind of person. This is about you being good to yourself. And you are light. Here's what we have on the back of the deck there. So, and these are quite kind of pinky sort of colours, which once again, and with the pink, I think it's fuchsias that are on there. It's connecting with your heart chakra, and pink is the higher heart chakra, I believe. It's to do with, linked with the divine feminine, and as we spoke about earlier, It's that Empress kind of energy, allowing things to come to you. You don't have to do everything by force or by pure effort alone. Just allow yourself to receive and drop into that feminine energy, and things will come to you. Just make sure that you choose who you want to become rather than what's expected of you, and everything will fall into place with this divine timing. It's once again, it's practicing that discernment with what's going to emotionally fulfill you and fill your cup. It will help align you with those higher vibrations and filling your cup with sacred giggles here. It's that kind of energy that's going on for you, and that your ancestors want you to really be aware of at the moment. So I hope that that's been helpful. This is where I'm going to leave your reading, pile 1, but thank you ever so much for letting me read for you. I really do appreciate you and your ancestors, and I am sending you so much love. Feel free to like, comment or subscribe if you feel like doing so, because I would love for you to be part of my notification squad if you aren't already. But I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I hope that you will come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, my parties. Welcome to your reading. So this is your reading if you chose this deck, which is the Everyday Witches deck, with the Two of Wands. But what I'm going to do is pop these to one side for a second. Right, the reading breakdown is that we are going to look at these oracle cards, which are going to represent the situation that your ancestors want to talk about. Then we are going to see what they want to say by using the tarot, and then we'll get some oracle cards at the end to see what advice or guidance they have for you. Excuse me. So we have confidence. I've got to remember I've got more candles on here than normal. And we have mindful. I might rejuggle these because we have more cards than the other piles. We also have magical clothing with empowerment. And we have acceptance with hell, I think it is, or hail. And we also have, because you've got more of these than everyone else, I don't know quite how we're going to fit them all in, but we will do it somehow. We also have focus with something that I can't pronounce, but it looks pretty cool. With number 38, we'll go through the numbers in a second. And we also have, I can't speak at the moment, spirit with initiation. And we have banshee with number 5. This one sounds pretty gruesome when I read it out, but heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. So this feels like quite a difficult situation that you're going through at the moment, and there is an element of needing to accept yourself in some way and practice mindfulness and building up your own confidence and self-esteem. I'm not sure whether these are going to be too far over to be within the shot, so I'm just going to attempt to stand up without making the light flicker. Yep, it's in there, that's good. Oh, I nearly got cramp in my toe. As you do. But there is an element of things not necessarily going quite to plan, and you may feel like things are just going wrong for you right now. There is that kind of energy coming through. But the reason that things aren't necessarily going straightforward and to plan is because there is an element of you being tested in some way to see whether it's exactly what it is that you want. You know that whole thing of we can't know what it is that we truly want without the contrast. So we can't have the light without the dark. We can't have the good without the bad. Because without those shadow elements, we can't see or appreciate what it is that we truly want, what it is that brings us that joy and happiness without that contrast of what we don't want. And this feels like it is very much a situation that is forcing you to look at the things that you don't want in life. But it's not in a way that is meant to make you feel discouraged or make you feel like you want to give up and not bother continuing to move forwards. There may be an element, I've got this tickle in my throat. There may be an element of communication where you are struggling to communicate your wants, needs and desires, and being able to... There is this element of needing to accept your own value and your own sense of self-worth. Not that I'm saying that if you are struggling with your self-worth that you need to accept that that's all there is. It's more of accepting this is where you are right now and looking at how you can build on that and move forwards and have those mindfulness practices in place. Whether it be something as simple as walking in nature, or what clothing you're wearing, because there is an element of magical clothing come through with the empowerment as well. If you are into things like colour therapy, because this is what it's making me think of, because magical clothing, it's not all about, it can be, but it isn't all about ritual robes and things that are associated with some kind of religious practice or magical practice. You can also use your clothing when it comes to what it is that you want to bring in. So, pardon me, if you are, say, trying to bring in more financial abundance, you can wear green on a Thursday, because green is the colour of abundance. Thursday is the day to do with financial abundance and bringing those sorts of things in, that kind of energy. And the same with when it comes to your confidence. You can wear yellow or orange on, what day would it be linked with? I'm being told Friday, but that Friday is to do with self-love, so it may be that you need to focus on that. Maybe that's something that you're working on because of the acceptance. But you can use colours regardless of what day of the week it is. You don't have to do it on a particular day of the week. If it's something that you feel like you need to bring in, a way that you want to feel, then you can look at colours and what colour clothing you're wearing so that you can embody that more fully. If you need to be more grounded, you can look at reds, browns, things that would be linked with your lower chakras and your root chakra. And when it comes to confidence, it would be the yellows and oranges, which, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, going into winter, they're kind of the colours of the season anyway, as I've picked out here with the oranges and greens. So they'll go quite nicely with the season anyway. But that being said, there is a need to kind of focus on what it is that you... No, it's not about what you want to bring in. It's about focusing on your own well-being and what it is that you are digesting and taking in. Because there could be things that are draining you or that are not serving you right now, whether it be things that you are actually physically putting in your body, when it comes to the foods that you're eating, whether you are overindulging in particular foods or you are overindulging in other substances, whether it be alcohol or otherwise, that you're putting into your body. But there is an element of that where it needs to be in moderation. You need to think about or your ancestors are wanting to draw your attention to how you're treating your body, your connection with your body. But also this can be what you are watching, the social media that you're using, what kind of accounts that you're following, because they are all things that you're taking into yourself, into your body, into your mind, and they are going to have a knock-on effect on how you feel about yourself, because you can fall into that comparison mindset and trap where it can kind of eat away at you if you're constantly comparing your own real life to someone else's highlight reel, because most of the time that is all that people post on social media. It is their highlight reel. It's all the high points. They don't share with you when they're having a really rough day, when they are ill, when they are struggling. All they show is the good things, and sometimes the things that they show aren't even genuine. So there is an element of that coming in as well, and just being able to find that peace within yourself, and to find that it almost feels like a tipping point where you are cutting back on things that aren't serving you and being able to focus on your own well-being and your own inner peace and confidence, and really focusing on those practices that support you. They aren't necessarily just mindfulness practices, they can be other things as well, and they don't have to be overly spiritual, but it's just being able to keep in mind what it is that is serving you and what isn't, and cutting away what isn't serving you and bringing your focus back onto yourself, so that you aren't constantly worrying about what other people are doing, what other people think, what they say, how they're going to perceive you. Because at the end of the day, everyone is going to have an opinion, good or bad, it doesn't matter. And none of us are here to appease everyone. It's not possible. You can't pretzel yourself to the point where everyone is going to be happy with what you're doing. Everyone is going to like you. Everyone is going to be accepting of who you are. All you can do is find that acceptance within yourself and be okay with who you are. And this is exactly what it is that your ancestors are wanting to talk to you about, because they want to help you with this, and because they're seeing it from the bigger picture and watching over you and seeing it unfold. They want you to be aware of it so that you can be mindful about this and bring your focus back to yourself, so that you can, as I was saying, be more confident within yourself, rather than worrying about how you'll be perceived or what everyone else thinks. Because there is that element of almost a trial by fire. By going through this and experiencing this, it's going to allow you to find more resilience within yourself and to change and grow and step into yourself more fully. I was going to do numbers as well. What numbers do we have here? So we have 43, 6, 38 and 5. So some of these numbers may be significant to you. It could be 4th of March, or the 3rd of what does that work out to? April. 6 could also be to do with your soul family and choices that you are making. But we also have 38, so it could be 3rd of August, 8th of March. It could be a time frame as well. Between... Wait, what do these add up to? Sorry, I'm trying to do different math in my head and it doesn't always work, especially when I'm focusing on 2 different things. A bit of a scatterbrain. I try and do too much at once, but it could be around March, April time through to August, or June and August could be a significant time frame for you, or it may just be that it is somewhere between 3 and 8 months that you are going through this process. But let's take a look at your tarot and we will see what it is that your ancestors want to say about this, what they want you to know. What do my pile 2's ancestors want to share about this? And we have the Emperor. What else, please? We have 7 of Swords and 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, that makes total sense. So there is an element of tradition and learning, and yeah, there's an element of you being able to learn discernment with this and finding that stability within yourself as to what it is that you need to be sharing with others. There is an emphasis on being okay on your own rather than worrying about what other people think of you. And I love this 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles is very much like a Beyonce Single Ladies kind of vibe, and not meaning that in a sexist kind of way. It's just that whole element of being good on your own, being independent, feeling comfortable and at ease in your own company, because I love how she's just surrounded by all of these pentacles growing on this tree. Those are the fruits of her labour. Everything that she has put into life and that she has worked towards and for has all come to fruition. And now she can sit back and relax and just enjoy some downtime. Whether it is literally relaxing with a book and a glass of wine and your favourite snacks or something like that. But there is that element of having put in the work already. And really being okay with who you are. This is what your ancestors want for you. And once again, it's that knowing what to walk away from, what to keep, having that stability within yourself, and being able to have that self-expression as well. So there's an element of knowing where your boundaries are, being so stable within yourself that you know what is right for you, what isn't right for you, being able to stand up for what it is that you believe in, and if someone pushes against your boundary, being able to know how to handle that, and even just knowing where your boundaries are and having that stability. And to an extent, it could well be a new beginning, because we have Aries coming through here with the Emperor. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. But even though they are the baby of the zodiac, with being the first, they're very much in their power, authority, and learning through experience and doing the groundwork to gain that expertise and control over their world, which feels exactly like what it is that you are going through. You are learning this, you are stepping into your power, you are knowing how to practice that discernment, what to keep to yourself, what to share with others, because nobody has a right to information. It's your information. It is up to you what you share with others, what you keep to yourself, and how much you want someone to know. So long as you are good in your own and seated in your own power, then anything that you do or experience or have is yours. You don't have to justify it, you don't have to explain yourself, because you will be in that power. And although the situation at the moment, you are building this, it's something that your ancestors are rooting for you, and they are helping to guide you with this as well, so that you can actually step into your power and be okay with how life is. Yeah, having that emotional mastery over your life and your world, and really being able to be kind with yourself and trusting your intuition, and being able to look after your emotions in a very practical kind of way as well, and looking after your there went a card, your emotional well-being. Let's see where it went. I'm going to end up knocking something. I just know I am. What do we have here? Ooh, more cramp in my toe. But that's not the card. Seven of Pentacles. It's that whole thing of coming into alignment. I hope that I didn't knock the camera. But there is that element of divine timing. You've sowed the seeds of, I think we're good. You've sowed the seeds already for what it is that you're working on. So when that card actually came out in pile 1 as well, but totally different situation, scenario. There is that element of you've already started working on yourself. You already know the changes that you want to make and how you're building your confidence, and knowing that you need to practice that discernment when it comes to what you are taking in. And it's just a matter of maintaining that and keeping going, and because the spirit is guiding you. We've got the Fool on the back of the deck, and although the Fool can come across sometimes as quite innocent, free-spirited, and almost like a not looking before you leap kind of energy, it's also the beginning of the major arcana, and it's that opportunity to start afresh, go on a new adventure, start over in life. Regardless of where you are and what you've done up until this point, it is a new beginning, a journey, an adventure. And being in that free spirit energy and creativity, and being able to start over in a very authentic and original way that is true to you, and trusting your instincts on this as well, which will be linked with your emotions and this Cup's energy. So yeah, that feels very much like where you're at right now, and what your ancestors are asking you to focus on, because they are helping you and they are supporting you with this as well. So we're going to get some oracle cards just to kind of see if there are any additional messages that your ancestors want you to know. So for my pile 2s, please. Celebrate your wins. I love that. So when things It doesn't matter how small they are, it's so important to celebrate our small wins, right? Even if it's just getting through another week, because life can be hard, and if we don't cut ourselves some slack and practice that acceptance that we were talking about earlier, and that mindfulness, because you can use this as part of your mindfulness practice as well, just checking in with yourself once a week to see what it is that you have achieved that week. What were your wins? It doesn't matter whether it was getting through the week or finding that perfect parking space when you went to a particular place, whether it's a supermarket or whatever, or if you're going on public transport, getting a seat even when it was busy, there was a seat available. Those small things and things that are going right for you, and being able to bring your attention to those and focus on them, because we can forget to do that, whether it is a big goal that we are working towards or something small. As soon as we get to a point where we've reached that target, we've reached that goal, we can forget to celebrate that, and we just move on to the next thing. But we're doing ourselves a disservice, because by stopping and acknowledging it and celebrating it, we're allowing ourselves to step into that attitude of gratitude and being able to raise our vibrations, so that we can get into this Nine of Pentacles energy, where we start to see the good in life rather than focusing on what we don't have and the lack. We can then begin to focus on what is going right, what we do have, what is possible. Even this is, I kind of feel like Spirit's calling me out on my own stuff right now. So my ancestors may be in this group. Even when it feels like everything is going down the pan, nothing's going right, there is always something positive, whether it be that you have a loving and supportive family around you, you have friends who lovingly accept you for who you are, regardless of what you have going on or any physical or mental conditions, like mental health conditions that you have going on. They don't judge you for it. They lovingly accept you as you are, regardless. And that can be something very precious. This is just an example, because it can be something like a warm bed to sleep in at night, a roof over your head, warm food in your belly, those sorts of things. Just having that gratitude, even for a hot shower, just being able to focus on, I know I've spent so much time on this card, but it feels important. Just having that time to really acknowledge what you have, because not everyone has those things. Not everyone has that loving and supportive family. Not everyone has that amazing network of friends who just accept them for who they are. Not everyone has hot water, hot running, or even running water in the world. Not everyone can afford to feed themselves on any given particular night. You know, there are all those things, and although it can be depressing to think of not everyone being able to have that, we have to really value the things that we take for granted quite often, because it can be so easy to forget that. But we also have, what does your soul say? Yeah, trusting your intuition and your gut and your connection with your emotions, because our emotions are energy in motion, and they are our built-in guidance system as to what is right for us and what isn't, and we need to trust that. And we have the distraction of shiny things. Yeah, it's that whole the grass is greener on the other side kind of mentality, which isn't always the case. Sometimes things can, on the surface, seem a lot more, a lot more appealing, and like they have a lot more value. But then when you look at things up closely, that's not always the case. So just kind of being aware and practicing that mindfulness, and because mindfulness is, although we say mindfulness practices and things like that, mindfulness is purely being present with yourself, being present with your life, present in your body, and being able to see things for what they are in the present moment, rather than worrying about what the future holds or romanticizing it in any way, which is what this card is making me think of. It's that whole kind of dreamy romanticizing. And so if you are looking at other people's social media and comparing yourself, be mindful of and be aware of how you are seeing that and how much you are reading into something that may not even be true. What else, please? Are there any other messages that you have for my pile twos? Ancestors of pile twos, is there anything else that you want them to know or say? And we have overthinking can spoil the magic. Yeah, it's kind of that same sort of thing, same sort of energy. Not getting caught up in that mental trapping and rat race of analysis paralysis, because if you spend too much time up in your head overthinking things, then it kind of, because you're not being present in your body, it sets everything on kilter when it comes to the energy and the vibration, and it can actually block things from coming in to some extent, if you're into law of attraction and those sorts of things, because of the magnetic vibration that we give out. And if we're constantly up in our heads, then it can get we can kind of spiral in that way, and it stops you from taking action and taking this leap of faith to move forwards. So keep that in mind and practice discernment on that. And we also have manifesting and doing on the back of the deck. So yeah, your ancestors are there to help co-create with you, to help bring those things in, because the most success that you can have in creating something, it isn't about doing everything yourself and keep doing and pushing forwards. It's knowing when to take a step back and receive, and to have that balance so that you are co-creating. Not everything is down to you, and not everything is down to the universe or spirit or your guides or your ancestors, or whatever name you want to put in that place. It is about co-creating and having that balance and give and take, so that you know when to take action and when to sit back and receive and be in that magnetic kind of energy, as we were talking about earlier. So I hope that has been helpful, my pile twos. Thank you ever so much for letting me read for you. I think that's where I'm going to leave your reading. But thank you. I am sending you so much love, and to your ancestors as well. I really appreciate you being here, and I would love for you to be a part of my notification squad. So if you feel called to do so and you've enjoyed this, please feel free to like, comment or subscribe. But regardless, I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I hope that you will come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, my pile threes. Welcome to your reading. I'm quite excited for this one because I haven't actually used this tarot deck before. This is its maiden voyage, so we'll see how this goes. But to kind of give your reading a bit of a breakdown, we're going to pop the tarot to one side for a second, because we're going to look at these oracle cards, which are going to represent what it is that your ancestors want to talk about, like what the situation is. Then we're going to use the tarot to see what it is that they want to talk about, like what they want to say. And then we're going to get additional oracle cards at the end to see what supporting messages they have, what it is that they want to bring your attention to or make you aware of as well, or what guidance they have for you. But let's take a look at these. So we have harmony, ritual magic with initiation. I might need to pop a crystal over this one so that we don't get in trouble, because we've got some nakedness going on. With number 36. And we have loyalty with Mithras. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Number 15. And we have altar with dedication and graveyard. Some of these have been pretty grim, but number 18. There is a song that bellows in the peace of knowing no end and acknowledging the crossroads of eternity. Yeah, so it's something that has been quite long standing. Let's move this over a bit, and just to kind of make sure that everything is in. This candle has had a mind of its own throughout all of these, so we'll see what it does. You may be feeling like this particular situation has been going on forever, but there is an element of being able to be comfortable in the unknown, not knowing how long something's going to go on for, not knowing what the outcome is going to be, and remaining dedicated to your chosen path anyway, dedicated to what it is that you want to achieve. This altar card here is very much a magician kind of energy, having everything laid out in front of you, and although you have all of the tools, it's about putting in the effort and dedication to actually build something with what you have, and being loyal to yourself as well, and loyal to what it is that you are trying to achieve, regardless of how long it's taken so far and how much effort you've put in. Because there's also that sense of feeling like this is a bit of a test as well. Like, it isn't something that has necessarily felt straightforward. There may have been twists and turns and things not being quite as they seemed as you've been going through this process, and being able to find harmony within that. Once again, it's that getting comfortable with the unknown, staying loyal to yourself, true to who you are, what it is that you're working towards and trying to achieve, and not allowing yourself to become dissuaded by something, whether that be other people's opinions or things not going quite right. Because things don't always go quite to plan. There are bumps and twists and turns in the road, and life is never straightforward. We have a plan, we try and put it into action, and it just doesn't happen. But the thing is, there's also an element of if something isn't meant for you, it will pass you by. Like that whole rejection is divine protection kind of thing coming through. So that may be something that you are questioning, whether you should be heeding the signs and giving up in some way what it is that you really want, or that you have been working towards for all this time. But there is a very strong sense of being in your own power and being able to see this through. because of it being a bit of an initiation and kind of a test of how much you want this, how willing are you to not only put in the work and the dedication to physically doing things to achieve the outcome that you want, but also the energetic work, being able to do the release work and having that whole cyclical nature to it. So being able to know when to let go, what to hold on to, and having that discernment. But most of all, staying the course and staying true to who you are. You may find that you are being drawn to practices that will help you to come into alignment with this, and staying true to yourself. This one actually feels really vague. The other two piles felt slightly, not by a great deal, because I don't always get specific details for situations, but this one feels quite almost generalized, like I don't need to go into the details because you already know exactly what this situation is about, and you know that there is a need to bring harmony into this and to be okay with not knowing what the outcome will be, and to put in the effort and the work and go through the process regardless, just because it's something that you want to do and something that you feel passionate about and dedicated to, that you have that drive and that want to invest your time and energy in it. Whether that be that you are running your own YouTube channel and you aren't like a big channel, you might not be at the point where you can monetize, but you are continuing to do it regardless of how much your channel is growing. You are continuing to put in those steps, record those videos, upload them, do all the edits and all those sorts of things, create the thumbnails, even though there isn't necessarily any kind of material gain or return on it. You are doing it because it is something that you enjoy doing and that you feel passionate about, and is an integral, I don't know if integral is the right word, but something that is a part of who you are and a part of you, to the point where it would feel like something was missing if you didn't do it. Almost. It's that kind of energy and connection that you have with it. So you aren't necessarily expecting any particular outcome. It's just that you have found that peace within yourself to know that you're okay with not having any kind of return on it. It's just something that you want to do. So let's see what comes out in the tarot, to see what it is that your ancestors want to say about this situation. So, ancestors of pile 3, please, what do you want them to know about this? So we have the 8 of Wands and the 6 of Wands. What else, please? Strength. Yeah. There is that element of recognition coming in. Like, if you keep going, don't give up. It may not be that you instantly see some kind of reward, but it is coming. And when it does come, then it's going to pick up speed quite quickly, and you will be getting that recognition, and people will be kind of putting you in the spotlight to some extent, but you need that strength and courage to keep going, and being able to balance that courage and strength. And I'm so sorry. I randomly yawned then, so you might be feeling quite kind of worn out in some aspect as well, like you're wondering when it's ever going to come in. But if you keep having that courage and strength to balance out, it's almost like that ego response of, oh, this isn't working, so let's not do it. But then at the same time, you want to keep doing it. And finding that balance between the two so that you can tame those more primal aspects of yourself that are kind of maybe triggering wounding or something that is more deeper rooted within you. Yeah, we also have temperance. So there is that element of healing and finding that balance between the two. We have the Fool and the Sun. Yeah, this is actually quite a big change that you're going through, or experience that you're having, that's going to really help you to grow and change. It's quite a pivotal kind of energy to it. So for star signs and things like that, we have with the Strength card, it's a Leo energy that's coming through. Also with the Sun card here as well, because that's the ruling planet of Leo. And with Temperance here, Temperance is Sagittarius. So I should kind of backtrack and go through these. With the courage and that balance that you're finding, it's having that patience and confidence within yourself and maintaining that stamina and trust that things will turn out as they are supposed to. And not only that, but having compassion for yourself as well along that journey. Because even with the Temperance card here, there's an element of moderation, being able to pace yourself and allow yourself to be guided by spirit and your ancestors and team that are working with you. Because there is a divine blessing and healing within this balance, being able to, it almost feels like knowing when to take action and when not to, and being able to tame that side of yourself that maybe, and when I say tame, I don't mean to squash it out in some kind of way or control it, but to make peace with it and find that healing, so that, because the ego isn't bad, it isn't something that we need to squash, get rid of, or push down within ourselves. It's there as a protective mechanism, and if we can make peace with that and know that we can get to the point where we can trust it to discern what is good for us and what isn't, then that's when everything comes into balance within life. And it's going to allow you to have that new beginning and that journey, because it's, as you step into this, when you begin to get the recognition, it is going to be like starting a new journey, starting over in some way, in this whole new adventure that you're going out on, and trusting how you are being guided by spirit and your ancestors, because obviously these messages are from them. They are there helping you, guiding you, and being with you every step of the way, and allowing you to really kind of follow who you are and who you are meant to be, so that you can find that joy and creativity in life again, and once again follow your instincts and be able to connect with your higher self and trust your own judgment as well as you're progressing and moving through life. Because with the Sun card, there is an element of illumination. Yeah, illumination. I nearly fell over the word. But also joy and celebration as well. It's the happiest card of the deck. And when you begin to step into your authentic self and go on this new adventure and begin to experience new things, it is going to bring you a lot of happiness, pile 3. And it's going to change your outlook on life and how you see things, and enable you to have that willpower to move forward. So we have the chariots there as well. So really allowing you to come into alignment as you heal and change, so that you can have that mastery of self and ambition to be able to forge your own path, because you will have the willpower and confidence and even adrenaline to keep going, because it's going to spark that joy within you. And that's the ultimate adrenaline, really, isn't it? When we find something that makes us truly happy, that's what gives us the energy to get up early in the morning, start something. It's that whole having a spring in your step, to really enjoy life and embrace life to the fullest. That's what it's going to enable you to do, to keep going. And that's what you're being encouraged to do. It feels like it's very much a keep going, don't stop. Follow your intuition, follow your gut instinct, regardless of how long you've already been doing this. Just allow yourself to, I'm hearing indulge. Indulge yourself in the activity that really lights you up, because that's what's going to make the biggest difference to you right now, and to bring things to fruition and allow things to actually manifest into the 3D. So for your messages, we have your soul shines, which it does. When you are overflowing with joy and that passion for life, and falling in love with your journey and life itself rather than the destination, that's when you become magnetic, like truly magnetic, because who wouldn't want to be a part of that? When you see someone who is truly happy and at ease with themselves and really loving life, you naturally gravitate towards that and want to be a part of that. What else, please? Guides. We have prosperity's sisters are happiness and joy. Yeah. Can I move this now? Oh no, not quite. I could if I move them up a bit. There we go. Yeah, it's all about stepping into that happiness. That's what you need to be focusing on at the moment. What else, please? Nourish the sacred feminine. Yeah, allowing yourself to drop into that energy of receiving and of abundance, and just allowing things to flow to you. It's that element of surrender. Now, don't get me wrong, feminine energy isn't all about surrendering and receiving. There is an element that is very fierce, protective, and action orientated. But just making sure that you are nourishing those more feminine aspects of yourself, and your intuition and really tapping into what it is that your body wants, what it is that your soul needs, what you need for your own self-care when it comes to your mental health, physical well-being, and spiritual body as well, because all of those elements are going to help nourish you and help you to be connected with yourself in a very grounded and well-rounded kind of way, rather than focusing on just one particular element of it. What else, please? And we have find your sacred flow. This could be through creativity, because the sun makes me also associate with our inner child as well, and really kind of, there's a bit more that I didn't realise was there, but really kind of tapping into that inner child and sense of play and wonder. It's going to help you get into that flow and that creativity, which is also going to help support you. What else? Can I get one more, please? And we have, what does your soul say? Yeah, it's following that intuition and trusting yourself. I think I've pulled an extra one for whatever reason. But we also have the good kind. So, yeah, practice kindness towards yourself as well as others. And know when to fill your own cup, rather than worrying about other people's cups and what they need. Make sure that you are focusing on your own well-being at the moment, so that you can step into that happiness and joy and nourishing yourself and following what your soul is calling you to do, because that's going to let your soul shine and really allow you to be magnetic and forge your own path. And yeah, that's all that your guides want for you. They are there helping you, supporting you, your ancestors through all of this, and they just want to see you in that happiness and joy state, so that you can just begin to let things flow to you very naturally. But is there anything else that I need to say or that I've missed? I can't remember if I mentioned this, but with the Chariot, just in case it's significant, the Chariot is associated with Cancer, which is all to do with security and foundations. But this can also talk about travel as well, not only mastery of self, but there could also be an element of travel in there. And yeah, security and foundations, and home life, because Cancer is very much about home life and those creature comforts as well. So, but with that being said, I think this is going to be where I will leave your reading, pile 3. Thank you ever so much for letting me read for you. I am sending you and your ancestors so much love. I really appreciate you for being here, and I'd love for you to be a part of my notification squad. So if you feel called to do so, please feel free to like, comment or subscribe, and you'll be notified of when my next video goes up. But regardless, I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I hope that you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye.